That would be nice. But usually it's around 2 hours 40 to 2 hours 50 per run. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do our first run for the night. And you pretty much get a full quote-unquote story run along with every Downpour speedrun, because none of the cutscenes are skippable. Obviously, we don't read notes, do side quests, or anything extra like that. But we do go through the entire main story scenario and can't skip any cutscenes. I'd forgotten what hangovers were till today. You got a hangover? How did that happen? I mean, I drank a pretty good bit for Back for Blood. He drank? Well, drinking is nothing new for Hirimi. Hirimi's a professional drinker. An all-time pro. He's a world record holder.
He's all yours now. Make it quick, Cupcake. Hey, almost forgot. I left you a little present on the bench. Fun.
Gotta turn on 3 of the showers. Grab a weapon. And run back to the door. Soju and liquor / soda. A mistake, but still had so much fun. But still had fun, so worth it. I mean, cool. Nah, I had a great time drinking and doing some Back for Blood. We'll definitely do some more of that this week. But tonight, we're getting back on that Downpour grind. Hey, Blue Sea Moose. Hey, Pinch Grip.
Jesus, you scared the hell out of me. What the hell's going on? Where's Sewell? There's been a mistake. I'm a sequestered prisoner. You're not supposed to be here.
Hey, B-Miz.
Guards? Officer Sewell? Hello?
You don't recognize me, do you?
What? No, Guards! Guards! Anybody?
We used to be neighbors.
Guards! Guards, open the goddamn door! Help somebody! This is a violation of my rights. Who the hell do you think you are? When
Back
I
for
talk to the
besties.
warden,
No one's listening.
Help! Jesus, help me!
Yeah, more Back for Besties.
Oh. It's just
Absolutely gonna happen again in the near future. Tina Bow, thank you so much for the 7 months. Welcome back. Welcome back. Very much appreciate the resub. Thank you, thank you. Hope you're doing well tonight. There's just a knife in a prison shower. Sewell put weapons in there. He arranged you to kill this guy. He arranged for Murphy to have his chance to kill Napier. And in exchange, Murphy had to kill somebody else for him. Who turned out to
Did I
be
wake you, Pendleton?
Officer Frank Coleridge, who is Anne Cunningham's father. Which is why Anne hates the shit out of Murphy
Rise and shine, Cupcake. You know the drill.
throughout this whole game. Although, depending on the ending you get, Murphy may or may not have actually done it. Hell, Patrick Napier may or may not have actually done it. And none of the story actually matters that much anyway. Because all of the endings and plot points and stuff that you get sort of contradict each other. This game you played once but hated it? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a fan of this one either, but the speedrun is not too bad. It's pretty straightforward. And I just want to speedrun all of the Silent Hill games again. Just like old times. And this one, the speedrun, because it is so straightforward, it changed very little over the years. So it's an easy one for me to kind of get back into speedrunning. But as far as like playing this game casually or anything like that, I don't really like it. Which Silent Hill game is the fastest to speedrun? Silent Hill play novel. You can beat the play novel in like 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes. And it's mostly just mashing through text. Hey, Guggy. Would love to see you do an in-depth story playthrough for Death Stranding.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to do an in-depth playthrough for Death Stranding. I will eventually do it, but it's going to take a lot of preparation because it's going to take many, many days.
Give it a couple of days at Wayside Max. I bet you'll start to miss this place.
Because to do a proper, in-depth, thorough story playthrough, I'm going to have to max out basically all connection levels, do a lot of extra stuff in order to get the extra notes, all of the extra notes and emails and things. So I need to take down a whole lot of notes for kind of routing that out efficiently, but still thoroughly. And then when it comes down to playing Death Stranding and covering all that stuff, it's going to take probably like 120 to 150 hours. So even if I do like 10-hour streams day after day after day, it'll take like 2 weeks.
You heard the lady? Mount up. What we got here?
Yeah. There's a lot. There's a lot involved in
Pendleton.
in-depth story for Death Stranding. And it's a very long game to cover everything.
Get on the bus.
PT. I mean, PT is a very fast speedrun, but I think play novel is still faster. So can you skip this at all? Imagine wanting to reset a run. You cannot skip any cutscenes in Downpour at all, whether you want to or not. Literally none of it is skippable. There's also no major skips in the speedrun in general. There's no like sequence breaks or anything like that. Hey, Poroskanov. Sexy burritos. Burritos sound good. I made spicy shrimp fajitas for dinner, and they came out really good. Just got here, so sorry if you already commented, but is the game volume down? You should be able to hear my voice and the game volume. This particular part is kind of loud compared to the rest of the game, so it might sound kind of loud compared to me, but then the rest of the game is pretty quiet.
You have a good nap, Weddle? Tell me something, puta. That true what I heard about you? Did you really do it?
Shut the hell up!
Fuck you, Weddle.
I said.
Hey, Cruo.
Damn it!
Downpour. 2 weeks of 10-hour streams or 1 day stream of 125 hours. Yep, just gotta squeeze 125 hours into a 24-hour day. Real life speedrunning. And then going back to the Death Stranding thing, there was a whole lot of new stuff added for the director's cut version of the game. And if possible, I would like to include all of that in an in-depth story playthrough once I get around to doing one. And unfortunately, director's cut is only on PlayStation 5. And I still can't get a PS5 for any kind of a reasonable price. Because they're just hard to fucking get without spending like $1,000 or more. So either director's cut will get ported to PC or PS4 versions, and I'll do it then. Or eventually I'll get lucky and get a PS5. And then we can do that Death Stranding in-depth playthrough. We'll set aside like a month for it. Because it'll take at least 2 weeks, maybe more. Depending on how thorough I am. And you guys know how I am when I'm thorough.
Hands where I can see him. Do it.
Take it easy. I'm not going anywhere.
I said, on the ground, now.
Still in the middle of your first playthrough? Such a beautiful game. Still very confused, though. Oh, with Death Stranding?
And you just happened to lose your cuffs in the process? Save the bullshit.
It is a very beautiful game. And it is a very confusing game. There's a lot of stuff that is very easy to miss. And there's a lot of very important story points and plot points that are hidden in, like, optional emails and things.
Shit.
So, it can be hard to follow at times.
Pull me up.
Hang on.
I'm slipping.
What was this part about? I know I've seen your story walkthrough, but I still don't remember. Murphy is being transferred from one prison to another. Anne Cunningham has gone very much out of her way to get Murphy transferred to her prison because she blames Murphy for the death of her father. So she wants her chance to kill Murphy herself. And she's having him transferred to her prison, or the prison she works at, to have her chance to do that. And on the way to that prison, they drive very close to Silent Hill. And there is a big broken chunk of the road that the bus driver overlooks because he's looking back at the commotion happening. Crashes the bus. And now Murphy just, he's tired of being in prison, so we're trying to run away. And Anne Cunningham does not like that. Some little time optimizations that I've been learning about this game since I last ran it. You'll see that I raise my weapon and walk through certain areas. Those are areas where the game forces Murphy to walk, and he walks a little bit faster with his weapon raised, so saving a second or two here and there whenever you see that happening. Also, a little optimization thing there. When I pick up those game tokens, I used to go back and hit the lever to bring the Skytram into position where you can get onto it later. It turns out that's actually a little bit slower because if you go all the way back and pull that lever and then come back to leave that little office area, the door is closed, so you have to spend another second or two opening that door. An extra time. So it's a little bit faster to wait and pull the lever when you come back here after getting the tram ticket. That's pretty much how this speedrun is. It's a lot of very small optimization things. No real major skips and glitches.
Heading to prison, are you, Murphy?
Just looking for a way out of town is all.
That's so. Afraid all the roads are out, every last one of them.
Hey, Rail Tracer. Thank you for the luck.
What the? Something wrong, son?
So if speedrun tactics didn't change for years, how do you beat record if you have to use the same tactic? Are there any RNG events which can make it longer? Yeah, there's a lot of RNG when it comes to enemy encounters. Sometimes there's certain segments where enemies will spawn that can stun you from a distance, and sometimes they will show up and do their stun attack. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll do something different. They'll try to chase you instead of stun you at range. There are some randomized movement things where Murphy will sometimes just decide to run faster. It's somewhat able to be manipulated. It's based on his health. But how much health you have during like the chase segments and other little things are still relatively random. Right here, I'm forced to walk, but I walk a little bit faster, raising my wrench up.
Hello? Anyone here?
And then on top of all those little RNG things throughout the run with enemies and movement, there's just the movement in the game itself.
Anyone hear me?
It's very easy for Murphy to get stuck on things in the environment, and lots of little things that... The movement and controls for this game are very clunky. Very clunky. And collision... When you're running around objects, like, Murphy will just get stuck to things. Sometimes. So, a lot of it is just trying to get very clean movement.
This can't be happening.
A bit of luck. Go.
Murphy, run!
We just need to get close enough to activate those two doors. And then sort of run at the void to go into this door. Even though you get slowed down by the void for a little bit. It's much more straightforward to get through. Get to the slide section. Hey, Owl Brother. Oh god, yeah, Wishborn.
What is this place?
Apparently that's a thing to certain fans. As a way of referring to people like Maria in Silent Hill 2, who are born from a wish. They're Wishborn. Still sounds like a fantasy race or something to me. Be like an Elder Scrolls thing. Do you want to play as a high elf, a Nord, or a Wishborn? Yeah, Wishborn, that little puppy on TV who would solve mysteries and tell stories. Hey, Nora. Hope you're doing well tonight. Hey, Nick. Do I have a favorite Silent Hill game to run? Silent Hill Homecoming, actually. It's not one of my favorite games casually, but it is a very, very fun speedrun. Lots of cool sequence breaks and clipping through walls and really fun glitches and tech. Makes it a really interesting run. And a very satisfying speed run when you're actually able to get a good run going and have like a good sequence of clips and skips and things. Downpour is so weird. That's one word for it. Is the consensus that Downpour is better than Homecoming, like just as a Silent Hill game? I mean, there's no consensus on it. It's an opinion. Generally, I think most fans think of Homecoming as being better than Downpour, but I know a lot of people who like Downpour. I know a lot of people who like Homecoming. And I know a lot of people who hate both. So it's kind of all over the place. But this is one of those enemy RNG moments. Sometimes that enemy can scream and stun you. You can actually hear her screaming in the distance when I got around the corner where she tried to stun. And I was too fast. But sometimes she will scream and stun you there. Cause you to lose some time. Hey, Filthy Bear.
Back outside.
AT time. Thank you for the luck.
Yes. I'm back to that Skytram.
What do you think the symbolism behind this puzzle is? Yeah. The symbolism that permeates through this entire game. I think Murphy was in prison and not very happy about it.
Nice. Huh? What's this?
And had the opportunity to escape. So is trying to.
A long time since I had real clothes.
I know. A little bit far-fetched, but when you've read as many symbolism and psychology books as I have, it makes a little bit more sense. Just gotta have that 300 IQ. Oh, super unlucky. We avoided the scream, but we got close enough for that one to grab us. Very, very unlucky. So that's another one of those RNG points. Sometimes they'll scream at you and stun you. Sometimes like that, they'll get close enough to grab you. Sometimes, if Murphy's health is like exactly where it needs to be, and if they spawn exactly where they need to be, and the AI, the enemy AI is playing nice, Murphy will get a speed boost, and he'll run a little bit faster for a few seconds there.
This must be the ticket machine. Wherever this thing goes, can't be worse than back there, can it?
Hey, Rushmore. Have you attempted to do cutscene %? What do you mean cutscene %? None of the cutscenes are skippable. We already watch them all. Playing with your balls will free you. There's the real symbolism. Now there's some reading between the lines. Oh. Stuck on the tram. Very easy to get stuck on the doors trying to get out of that thing. Don't need that wrench anymore.
Anybody in here? Hello?
I'm gonna take this as a safety. Grab this.
Wouldn't take much to knock this down. Here we go. Here we go. Key rack.
Tired and confusing. One of the runs where you can play one Silent Hill game during the unskippable parts of another. Oh! You're referring to Downpour or Downcoming, where essentially you do speed runs of Silent Hill Homecoming while the unskippable cutscenes of Downpour play. No, I haven't done that yet. I might do that at some point. And there's a lot of games that we could squeeze in. Oh, you know what? I wonder how many Silent Hill games I could speedrun through during a Downpour run.
Name's JP, and that, sir, is the Devil's Pit.
Like if I was just going in order, and every time it's a Downpour cutscene, like start with Silent Hill 1 and try and do a run through of Silent Hill 1, and then 2, and then 3. I wonder how many I could get through during a Downpour run.
First time visitor, huh?
Because it's like an hour and 25 minutes of cutscenes or something like that.
Listen, if there's a way out of here, I'd really appreciate it if you
Silent Hill 1,
Way out. What good would that do?
if I really practice it and got better with it, I can...
Don't get too many.
I mean, that I probably wouldn't even get through that many. Silent Hill 1 is already about
If you have
40 minutes to 50 minutes, depending on the version
boy, I tell you,
that I'm running.
they just love that little train.
Silent Hill 2 is also about 40 to 50 minutes real time.
Thanks for the tip.
But if I'm doing particularly short ones, like Homecoming, you can do in, well, depending on the category and how good of a run you get, you can do in like 25 to 30 minutes. Silent Hill 3 is relatively short. It's like 40 minutes or so. Play Novel is only like 5 to 10 minutes. The arcade game is like 40 minutes or so. I don't know how good of a throw that was. We're gonna hope for the best. But if I specifically went and found... I'll have to time that out. I'll see what's the most efficient games to run during Downpour cutscenes. And see what I could... how I could make all that work. Capturing that would be a nightmare, though. Yeah, a little bit. Is my axe? Oh, it did make it. I threw it a little bit too far, so we lost a bit of time because we had to go around the rock to pick it up, but we'll save time by having it. So it'll even out. Hey, Masterhead02. Glad you enjoy the streams. And glad you enjoy all the story playthroughs that have been archived on the Sci-Fi Guide channel. Thanks to Dorian House. Dorian, who's a longtime friend and supporter of the channel, who handles all the YouTube stuff. But glad you enjoy those videos. And if you like the story playthroughs and stuff, there is everything that's on YouTube and way, 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 way more archived on my videos page here on Twitch. I've got a playlist of Silent Hill stuff. There's Hiremi with it, with the video links. If you want to see some first playthroughs and in-depth playthroughs of some other things, check out the videos tab. And then there's a specific playlist of all Silent Hill stuff. It's like almost 500 hours long at this point. It's getting there. Covering every single Silent Hill game in the series, multiple times. And a lot of those are not and have never been on YouTube. So it's a lot of stuff that, if you're only familiar with the YouTube content, you definitely have not seen everything in there. Worth checking out. And thank you for the 100 bits. Very much appreciate the support. Thanks for just being here, hanging out, enjoying the live stream as well. Time for fuck. Ah, stuck on the stairs. Fuck is gonna slap my shit. He's not happy when I step on the stairs. No. Stop it, fuck. You and fuck have a falling out or something? He's just very sensitive about people getting stuck on his handrails. Really is not happy about it. Make a notepad file so you can copy paste for that instead of opening up the videos page. It's okay. I wouldn't even go through the trouble of that because I'll have my computer set up probably by this point next week. And I'll be back on my own rig, so we'll have Harry Meowsenbot
What are you doing, JP?
back in action.
You know, enjoying the view.
I'm pretty much just waiting for my paycheck so that I can buy computer monitors.
Wouldn't even reach halfway to the top of this place. Seems like a dangerous place.
I need to get computer monitors. I need to get a new Ethernet cable, like a super long Ethernet cable, and a splitter.
Our lawyers, they said it was just
Already got a keyboard and mouse on the way, so yeah, probably this time next week.
That's what I kept
Should be back on my own computer.
I read all about it. Those newspaper men are goddamn fucking liars. Relax.
accident. I didn't mean to hurt nobody. I didn't murder nobody.
Didn't murder nobody.
Murder, mortal sin. You go to hell for murder. Ain't that right, Murphy? Surely your mama taught you about what's right and what's wrong.
Those kids had parents that might disagree with you. The paper mentioned negligence.
It was an accident.
You were completely hammered. There were witnesses.
And how about you, Murphy? Someone know all your dirty little secrets?
I never hurt anybody that didn't deserve it. And I sure as hell never hurt any kids. I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
You call this living?
Can you imagine what that's like, Murphy? Living all your life inside someone else's lie? Can you? Listen to us talk. As if anybody out there gives a damn. When we're the ones who decide if we can live with what we've done.
Wait. What do you mean? Just wait a second.
Be seeing you around, Murphy.
No!
No.
Can't believe he jumped.
He didn't even do a flip. See if we can get decent luck here. This enemy sometimes is an asshole. Nice. Left me alone. Please don't block the door. Please don't block the door. Thank you. Look at that. He's being very, very courteous. We get another appearance by our favorite weeping bat. His name is Fuck. He's right here. There he is. Don't block the stairs. Don't block the stairs. Thank you, Fuck.
Never let go of hope. One day you'll see
I gotta say,
all come together.
I was going through watching the...
You'll ask yourself,
Well, since I've been catching up on Silent Hill Downpour and Silent Hill speedrunning in general again, I've been going through the Silent Hill speedrun Discord, and I was watching some Silent Hill Downpour runs on the leaderboards to see if there was any sort of new tech or strats or routing things that I was missing. And pretty much like everybody refers to that enemy as Fuck. And I'm very happy that I kind of started that.
Welcome aboard the Devil's Pit Historic Mine Train with stops at Hillside Station and the Superstition Cafe.
I'm very proud that my dumb joke about Murphy calling that enemy by name, he calls him Fuck. And now everyone just refers to him as Fuck.
Enjoy your ride, and please, no flash photography. Before it became the charming resort town that we know and love today, Silent Hill was once the center of trade and commerce, thanks to its rich scenes of coal and iron ore.
My biggest contribution to speedrunning. Downpour runners referring to that enemy as fuck.
In 1860, this subterranean railroad was built in order to haul men and equipment as far as 1,200 meters below the surface, making it the deepest.
We'll put that on your headstone. Thank you.
Long before the discovery of the pit's rich coal seam,
It's my proudest achievement in life.
were used by the local indigenous tribes for religious ceremonies, particularly as a gateway to the spirit realm and for communicating with the dead. We're now descending into the superstition caverns, an area of the cave steeped in mystery and folklore.
When Nub finally gets merch, first t-shirt is just Weeping Bat and the word fuck.
Discovering mysterious
I already have merch.
limestone rock, leading to a wild speculation about which
And
the occult.
I would not really be able to do that, sadly. Because the Weeping Bat... Well, I'd have to get an artist to draw a Weeping Bat. I couldn't just slap an image of the model from in-game, because that is copyright infringement. But I do have merch. I think I've got a link to it in my panels underneath the channel player. I have a Designed by Humans store. There's not a whole lot on there, but there is some shirts and hoodies with some of my old artwork that Trina Wolfie had done for me, with like me climbing out of my grave and my cats, Harry Meowson and Tutu, sitting up on the headstone. Big picture of the Nub Meowson, Nub Harry emote, just as a shirt or hoodie. And the this time of year shirts and hoodies and mugs. Really dumb question. Is the panel accessible on mobile? I don't know, because I never use Twitch mobile. I really don't know. I think it is, but I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know. All right, have a good night, Escalanta. Thank you for the luck. Get you some good sleep.
But I saw you.
Hands against the wall. I said, up against the wall.
You don't have to do this.
Big no-no. You have the copyright for the word fuck. Well, if we work out
I don't know what it is
getting an
or how
artist
we
to
got
draw a
here.
Weeping Bat,
One thing I
and
know
we
is
work up
just
some fuck merchandise, I'll see if I can
What the? Where did you
buy
get this?
the merch
Where
rights
the hell did you get this?
for a line of shirts from you.
I just found it in these clothes. I didn't.
Is this some kind of sick joke to you?
Hirimi, if Hirimi is still around, he should be able to copy the link
More than you do.
to my Designed by Humans store from the panels and put it in chat for you, if you can't get to those panels on mobile or anything. Hey, Kiludo TV. How long have you been streaming? Haven't seen a stream for a minute.
You don't deserve to
What do you mean, how long have I been
You're not
streaming?
fit to walk this earth
I've been
on.
streaming
Decent
tonight
men.
for the last hour and 3 minutes.
For what you think I've done.
Shut the hell up!
I've been streaming in general for about
See how funny it is
10
that
years
fucking
and
bullet
1
in your
month. Wemsters, you won't be able to post a link. A moderator has to post it. Links are not allowed in chat.
head. I can't.
Fun was ruined when hate raid bots and stuff became a thing.
I'm sorry.
So now users cannot post links, just me and mods. I might be able to pull it up during this cutscene.
Go. for? Leave me alone, goddammit!
There you go. That's easy enough to remember. designedbyhumans.com/shop/nubzombie.
I'm sorry.
I don't have a whole lot on there, but there is some merch. And eventually I will add new things to it. But I'm not good at selling merch. Because pretty much,
Oh.
I don't know. If
It's
people
just you.
want to support me, I'd much rather, you know, sub or gift subs or bits or directly tip. But if you want something for Christmas presents, if you want to actually get something in return for your support, a physical item, there is some merch.
Charlie!
More Like Machines, thank you so much for the 13 months. Very much appreciate it. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well tonight. That mug is going to be my Xmas present to myself. Nice. Give me the fucking nail gun. Thank you. Item juggling. And Masterhead, thank you so much for the 10 bits. Very, very much appreciate it. Guess I always thought you stopped streaming because your channel doesn't show past broadcasts, just 4-year-old stuff. It does show past broadcasts, but Twitch is weird. You just have to click, there's like a little drop-down menu to filter what kind of videos you're looking for. By default, it does not show my past broadcasts because most of the time people are looking for my Silent Hill playthroughs. So the default thing is my Silent Hill playthrough playlist. But if you scroll down or click on the drop-down menu to look at past broadcasts, you will see I have been streaming very regularly for quite a while again now. A few months. Pretty much this whole past year. Oh, you fucker. You absolute nutsack. Get out of my fucking way. Hemi, thank you so much for the 20 bits. Thank you, and have a good night. Very much appreciate it. Wish Twitch Mobile was better. Yeah, Twitch Mobile and like Twitch on smart TVs or console apps and things like that it's just not good. They really need to invest in having those things be better. Murphy, can we run? Thank you.
The ground is pretty soft here.
Yeah, we're not going to dig though, because that's a side quest. We're not doing that. Never touched that tab. Always thought it was for clips and stuff. Yeah. See, like I said, the layout for Twitch, especially when you're just looking for like videos, Twitch is fucking awful for looking for VODs and uploads and like video content. They put all of their effort into the live stream side of things, which I mean, I guess is good. That's the primary thing that people care about. But they need to put some more effort in making it easier to navigate through channels and find VODs, recordings, uploads. Because Twitch does all that stuff. like, you can upload videos that are pre-made, pre-edited, just like YouTube. You can do that on Twitch. But most people don't do it because it's, like, shitty to try to navigate to. So most people don't find it. They don't know how to get to it. And that's on browser. It's even worse if you're on mobile or on apps or anything.
Jesus, you scared the hell out of me. Definitely not what I intended. Still.
But yeah, Kiludo, I took a long break from streaming. I pretty much did quit streaming for most of 2020.
Yeah? Then what? Well, let's just say I could finally put
But I came back at the very, very end of 2020, and I kind of started streaming regularly again going into 2021, the start of this year.
This is a busy town. Do you think these letters deliver themselves?
Had a lot of stuff kind of going on in life where I needed to step back. I needed to step away from streaming and kind of take care of stuff in real life for a while. And I wasn't sure if I was even going to come back to Twitch with everything that was kind of going on at that time. So I stopped streaming. I deleted my Twitter and my Discord and like all of my social stuff.
Tell you the truth.
And yeah, I realized how much I missed it after not doing it for about a year. So came back at the very end of 2020, early 2021, and been streaming pretty regularly since then.
Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hello?
Don't do it. Good, we didn't get stunned. Yeah, I was definitely going through a rough patch. And needed to focus on some stuff at home. My mother was not doing too well, and I was taking care of her. And dealing with a lot of personal stuff as well. But my mom is doing much better now, in much better health. And I'm doing much better mentally now. And a big part of that has been thanks to Cyborg Rachel, who I moved in with this past July. I made the move from Texas to Georgia. Been living here since July, and that's helped out a lot.
These are my parole papers.
But yeah,
Who's doing this?
the plan is to be streaming pretty regularly again. A whole house full of horror streamers, pretty much. Because we've got Cyborg Rachel, myself, and an Eternal Enigma, all living here together.
This is a limited time offer, my friend.
I'll let you know. What's up, Officer Coleridge?
What was that about?
Nothing.
Hey, don't bullshit a bullshitter. Sewell's bad news, Murph. He doesn't do anyone favors. What are you in for with him?
A whole house full of
Don't worry about
horror fans,
For your sake?
streamers,
I don't want to get you
Silent Hill
The
nerds.
parole board's looking pretty closely at your case. Don't screw this up now. Not after all I've done to get you out of here.
Don't worry, Officer Coleridge. I got it all under control. Just some unfinished business to take care of.
Must be very spooky in there.
What the hell are you doing?
Spookiest thing is our demon cat.
You're not like these guys.
Told you, sir.
Spookiest thing is that we have a cat that is more demon than cat.
You stole a police cruiser and let him on a 10-hour chase down the eastern seaboard.
Little Ziggy.
A guy with no
Little
priors and a
Pazuzu.
police act do something that stupid. I think you at least owe me the truth.
Maybe I just needed to escape from the world for a while.
Yeah, well,
Hey, Katie.
steer clear of Sewell and do your homework, right?
You got it, Chief.
You got it, Chief. Thanks, Cruo. That seriously means a lot to me. I definitely had a lot of supporters, even while I wasn't streaming, who were messaging me and checking on me and making sure things were okay. And a lot of very appreciative people over the last couple years when things kind of were more difficult. And as I came back to streaming, so
Let's see if this works.
a lot of really, really great people in our community here. And I think that that's what kind of makes the difference in a lot of Twitch channels and for a lot of streamers and stuff. I think it comes down to the kind of community that they keep. Because there's a lot of streamers that I really, really like the streamer, but I don't spend a lot of time in their channels, and when I do, I pretty much like don't chat because I don't like a lot of the community. I'm trying to think of like a nice way to put it. Basically, there's a lot of streamers that care more about their numbers being larger, so they allow a lot more people to stick around their communities that probably shouldn't be there. Whereas I probably could be a much bigger channel if I really applied myself and wasn't more selective about who sticks around. Viewer count is just a high score counter. I agree. I agree. And I don't care about high score. I care about speedruns. Hey, what's up, Meep? Hope you're doing well. Hope you are having a good evening. What kind of people or behaviors do you try to purge from your community? I tend to just be very against people who are just like hateful. There's a lot of times you can be a big streamer and have a lot of people who like, I see so many streamers and they have like thousands of people watching, right? And so many of them are just like shit talking and there to just be like, oh, fuck you, you died, you suck at this type of thing. And like, I'll purge or ban over relatively small things.
Guys like Napier, they've got no business
Like,
breathing the
you
same
backseat
energy with me, right?
or be rude or hateful or anything in my chat, like even just once or twice, you're gone. You show up in my chat and only ever say like, oh, you're not playing this game, I want you to play this, I want you to do that. You're gone. Like, I want this to be a place where if you're happy to be here, you're happy to be here, and if you're not, you can go elsewhere or be removed. That's pretty much it. We keep things pretty chill, I think.
Keep you in the clear. But in exchange, you're gonna owe me.
Do you only do speedruns? Nope. I actually do a pretty big mix of things compared to how I used to.
I know you're a man of your word.
So I've been focusing on Silent Hill. If you're new to the channel, Katie, welcome. I usually focus on like the Silent Hill series. That's what most people kind of know my channel for. I play every game in the series. I do challenge runs, I do speed runs, I do super in-depth story playthroughs. And I've been mostly a Silent Hill streamer since 2015. And literally just last week got back into speedrunning again. I used to speedrun these games very regularly. And I would speedrun, like I said, pretty much every Silent Hill game in the series. I've even done like full series marathons where I speedrun every single Silent Hill game back to back and stuff like that. But I've been out of practice with speedrunning for the past like 2 years or so. So now I'm getting back into it. I'm relearning all of the games because there is different routes, different tech, new little things to learn about them and play them even faster than I was before. So I'm getting back into running them. I'm trying to beat all of my personal bests for each game in the series again. But yeah, then I also play a lot of stuff. I'm mostly a horror streamer. So even outside of Silent Hill, I'm usually playing horror games. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Back 4 Blood. Phasmophobia. And Silent Hill, of course. Currently working on Silent Hill Downpour speedruns. But yeah. I said I'll be going through all the games in the series. In time. In time. It's a lot of stuff. A lot of new stuff to learn when it comes to speedrunning them, and a lot of games to try to beat pretty good times in. Do I use glitches? I mean, yeah, if it's part of the run, if it's part of playing it faster, I will use glitches. Although this game is very straightforward. There's practically no beneficial glitches. Like, if glitches happen in Downpour, it usually means something broke and I'm losing time because of it. But then there's games like Silent Hill Homecoming, where once you get a gun, walls are just a suggestion, and you can go through basically all of them. And it makes it a really crazy speedrun, because you're skipping all sorts of stuff. There's some really big sequence breaks, some really crazy glitches and stuff in stuff like Homecoming. So It varies a lot from game to game. Some of them are very straightforward. Some of them are very glitch heavy.
Somebody out there has got an eye on you, MP, so watch your back and keep it on track. Hey, man, come on in. Got a disc spinning right now, so you ain't interrupting nothing. Man, you look like you just saw a ghost.
Is there a list of games I have played or speedran?
No.
Not really. Not right now. Not easily. It would have been on my speedrun.com profile, but I deleted that a couple years ago, and I'm gonna be updating it as I speedrun stuff again now that I'm relearning everything.
I got the message.
But as far it's mostly Silent Hill games that I speedrun, so literally everything in the series. Silent Hill 1, Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 3, Silent Hill 4, The Room, Silent Hill Play Novel, Silent Hill the arcade game, Silent Hill Origins, Silent Hill Homecoming, Silent Hill Shattered Memories, and Silent Hill Downpour. Speedrun all of those. And then a few other little side games that I speedrun. I speedrun Jet Set Radio. I speedrun a Sega Genesis game, an old Sega Genesis 2D platformer called Generations Lost. I actually did a run of Generations Lost at Awesome Games Done Quick back in 2019. So if you want to watch my GDQ run of Generations Lost, that's up on YouTube.
What the hell's going on here, Rix? What is this place?
Time to explain.
Any Resident Evil? I like the Resident Evil series, and I will play them on the channel casually every once in a while. But I don't speedrun any of them.
What's the plan?
Right. Listen, I got this boat. She's more down.
But I've played like every Resident Evil game except for Village at this point.
Check the keys.
I'll hotwire it. No problem.
That's not gonna work. This place, it does strange shit to reality, man. It's like there's rules you gotta follow. You know what I mean?
Bobby Ricks.
Hey, King Kane. The T-Pose Murphy clip is absolutely hilarious. Yeah.
Who's it going out to?
It's a funny clip, and there's definitely some really funny glitches and stuff in this game, but they don't help the speedrun at all.
Thank you.
They kill the run.
They're coming.
Who?
Doesn't matter. We gotta find those keys. On the silver chain says freedom.
Hey, Star Garden. This is DJ Bobby Ricks.
Pendleton.
He's a DJ.
Run down, damn it. We might have a way out of here.
And he's Bobby Ricks.
I need to use your phone.
Sorry, lady. Calls come in.
That's about it.
Just 'cause folks want to be heard, don't mean
You don't get a whole lot of backstory on DJ Bobby Ricks. You get a tiny little bit more from the Downpour comic.
What the hell's going on?
But even then, not a whole lot. Oh no, no DJ lore. Very sad. Very sad. Don't like this idea of trying to personify the town. Takes away from a lot of the mystery. I agree. Like, literally having DJ Bobby Ricks talk to the town on the phone. And be like, they're coming. It's aware and it knows things. Like, yeah. I don't like that take. I always liked where, in the classic games, it's kept more of a mystery if the town is sentient or not. Okay. We got a movement speed boost. That's good. My health is at just the right level to move faster during the chase segment. That's good. Ah, shit. Got stuck. Sticky Murphy.
Truth is like the sun. Shut it up.
Except for getting stuck on that one little part. That was a decent chase segment.
Great.
Even getting stuck on that wall, I think that's faster than my personal best. I actually don't know. I haven't watched my personal best. My PB is from like years ago. So I don't remember how lucky or not I got throughout all of it. I don't remember. Yeah, Bobby is short for Bobbert.
Wait. No way.
DJ Bobbert Ricks-a-lot.
Looks like my stop.
Actually, it's pronounced like Colbert. Colbert. Nice, we still got our movement speed boost. Good shit. Don't you do it. Squirt. Squirt. Oh. Oh. We'll go ahead and heal now. It's gonna fuck up our movement speed, but that's pretty much it for chase segments for a little while. Oh, really? She was so far away, still managed to get a scream. Well, that sucks. Enemy RNG. Not a 1 cycle, but a 2 cycle clock. Not bad. And first try on the button push. Decent clocks lately. The second run that I did last week, I managed to get it on the first cycle, where I just walked in. It was at the perfect spot where I could walk in and hit the button and not have to wait for it to go around the 1 extra time. That was nice. This one that I just got is like the more common one, which is still pretty fast. I'm gonna have to wait. It's possible to get a cycle where you don't have to wait on these blades but my movement is not that clean yet. I know who you are. Blood Ocean. Don't think I ever managed to follow this game from start to finish, only snippets. Is it good? Some people think so. I do not. I think this game's pretty bad.
Murphy! Murphy! Where'd you go? Oh, God. Help me. Help! Murphy, run!
It's at least the 7th best Silent Hill game. Sure. I don't know. With the Silent Hill series, you could argue a lot about which ones are better or worse, or which ones you like more or dislike more. And ultimately, it boils down to this for me. There's Silent Hill 1 through 4, which I think are all masterpieces of survival psychological horror. And then there's the rest.
This can't be right. Got your name on it, doesn't it? Seems plenty right to me.
The quality drop-off from the Team Silent developed games, the Japanese developed games, the first 4, to all the games after 4 that were outsourced to different Western developers. That quality drop-off is so steep.
Do you understand me? Do you?
That, yeah, there's some that I like more than others. I like Shattered Memories more than Homecoming, which I like more than Downpour or Origins, but none of them are particularly good games in my opinion. After 4, they're not great. I don't have a bot, King Kane. I used to have everything ranked. All my personal favorites, how I rank the games. But I don't have a bot. Because I'm still using Cyborg Rachel's computer to stream. I do have my own computer now, shipped all the way here from Texas. So I still need to get a few more things for it. I need monitors and some other stuff to actually set it up for streaming again. Hopefully by this time next week, I'll have all that together. But for now, I don't have a bot. But soon, Harry Meowson will return. At least everywhere's doing Black Friday sales? True. So a lot of the stuff that I'm looking at getting is going to be at least a little bit cheaper than it usually tends to be. And it's definitely still better than trying to, like, pay for a whole new computer build. I got the main thing.
Yes.
Got my actual
May I
PC.
help you?
I'm Murphy Pendleton.
So getting all the peripherals and everything else set up is not nearly as bad.
Ah, yes, Mr. Pendleton. We've been expecting you. You were the only family we were able to locate. Your presence is very welcome.
Family? No, that can't be. I mean...
Bless you.
Play novel. Yeah, I like play novel.
This must be very confusing for you.
Play novel's weird,
We've checked the records,
but I kind of like it.
and I assure you,
It's like a fanfic version of Silent Hill 1, but it's Japanese developed and made by Konami. It's like official fanfic.
What the heck?
For Silent Hill 1. It's weird, but I like it.
peacefully and is finally at rest. For that, at least, we can thank the Lord for his mercy.
Same thing for the arcade game.
Didn't leave much behind, but his few personal
The arcade game it's not great, but it's fun for what it is.
Was there an earthquake?
If you like House of the Dead, the Silent Hill arcade game is basically House of the Dead, but with Silent Hill monsters. And the story is okay. It's a little spin-off of a memo that you find in Silent Hill 2 that talks about a ship, a boat that sank in Lake Toluca called the Little Baroness. So it sort of revolves around that as a plot point, which is interesting. An interesting, like, starting off point for a story, especially for something like an arcade game.
Where'd she go?
Where did she go? Oh. Play Novel was made by the original team or someone else. It was made by mostly someone else's. It was still internally developed with Konami, but
Do you live here?
it was not a lot of the
We're not supposed to talk to strangers.
original Team Silent staff or anything.
Oh. It's just you.
What's your name? Hey, maybe you could unlock this door. Think you could do that for me? It's a pretty cool car you got there. You like cars? Yeah, my little boy. He used to play with cars just like that. You kind of remind me of him.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Did you kill him?
What? No, of course not. Why would you say something?
No,
like
we
that?
didn't kill him, because that ending takes too long to get. And it's faster to do the good endings.
What are you talking about? Who said that?
She did. She told me all about you.
Why is she crying? Who is she?
I don't know. Just some girl. She's always sad, but she knows things.
What kind of things?
Things about
She's a
the
liar.
Look.
He's a goddamn fucking liar.
Grown-ups tell kids there's no such thing as monsters, that the boogeyman's just make-believe, and there's nothing hiding under their beds. But that's a lie, because I've seen him. And I have
Liar,
feeling
that's a
you have
lie.
too. But I'm not one of them. I'm not the boogeyman. Now what do you say we get out of here, all three of us?
Do you know the rhyme?
What rhyme?
She told me there's a secret rhyme that makes the boogeyman go away.
There once was a
Say
man from
faster.
Nantucket.
He can't hurt you. Do you know it?
No. But if there's a rhyme that can do that, I sure wish you'd teach it to me.
then I guess she's right. You are the boogeyman.
Kid, look at me. I'm not a monster.
Not yet.
Do you think they voiced that kid with an experimental text-to-speech program? I mean, they voiced him. It was a child actor, but they might have given that actor, that little kid, some experimental drugs. Make him sound so sleepy and monotone. What's weird is there's actually some like glitchy dialogue with that kid. If you go do other things in this area and then come back and talk to him again, I usually try to show that off in story playthroughs. But he has like other dialogue, and it sounds like a completely different voice actor, like a different kid voicing other lines, but the lines are all like they're literally glitched out, where they don't match the subtitles, and the kid is like talking over Murphy, where the subtitles like overlap each other. Like, it's stuff that I think was supposed to be removed or just wasn't implemented correctly, so it's all buggy and weird. Oh my god. I was trying to mash A and X together, and I didn't realize that actually slows down the pull animation. It's better to just wait for the X prompt.
What? Two of the pages are torn out.
Read all your lines through your teeth. Voice acting. Was seriously gonna say, did not one of the devs did not have a kid at home to record some lines. I mean, it's one thing to just like have a kid and have him record lines, but also when you're doing it sort of legitimately, you still have to go through like actors unions and guilds and stuff like that. Even for child actors, especially for child actors, because they have limits on child labor laws, how long they're allowed to work and things like that. So recording, to be fair, recording with children is a lot more complicated than people realize. But with that said, that kid is a terrible fucking voice actor. Like, even Jackie Breckenridge, who voices Laura in Silent Hill 2, like, she's not great, but she sounds a hell of a lot better than that. think Laura's lines work 80% of the time. I'd say that's fair. I'd say that's fair. Like I like Jackie Breckenridge as Laura. I think a lot of times Laura's lines sound perfect. They sound really good.
Charlie!
But there's also some bad line deliveries, just like there is with pretty much every character in Silent Hill 2. Like, I love that game and its voice actors and the majority of the lines as they are in the game. But even the actors themselves and Jeremy Blaustein, who directed them, will tell you that, like, a lot of it, they were very limited on time and budget. So they only got, like, one take for a lot of their lines, and certain lines I think that shows more than others. But I still consider the voice acting in Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3 way better than it typically is in the any of the games after 4. Even their, like, first takes and worst line deliveries are leaps and bounds better than games where they had more budget and more professional voice actors and more time to make things better. No, not the brick. Get the axe. She sounds a lot like a kid would, all whiny and impatient. That's it. I agree. The majority of the time, Laura sounds completely fine. I think her line deliveries are great, especially with the more emotional scenes. When she's yelling at Guy Seehee, yelling at James at the end of Silent Hill 2. With the whole, like, you kill her, give her back, I want her back, like that, all of that stuff. Fantastic job. Sounds a hell of a lot better than, do you know the rhyme? Yeah, liar, that's a lie. Yeah, stuff like that. The scene where she locks James in the hospital room before the Flesh Lips fight. Doing the little bratty, ha ha, I tricked you. Like that kind of stuff. All really, really good. There's just a handful of lines that are like a little, and I mean, it's being very, very picky about it. Where a few things are a little bit like overly exaggerated. When she's talking about Mary's letter, and she's like, that's what she said in the other one. Huh? I must have dropped it. Like, it gets a little bit Resident Evil-y sounding, if that makes sense. where I know Silent Hill already has its very stilted, stiff voice acting, but then it gets a little bit too far in that direction. But it's still, again, better than most child voice acting, especially in games. The scene at the end in the hotel. Fucked that up big time. Fucking it up big time. And we didn't get the RNG. Apparently there's a way to manipulate the RNG so that you'll always get the correct body. But I don't know how to do that, as it requires very precise movement.
This won't be fun.
Resident Evil 2 Remake Sherry's voice. It's pretty good.
It's the rest of the rhyme. Wonder if that kid will let me through the door now.
As I said, there's other examples of like pretty good child voice acting in some other games, especially newer things. RE2 Make Sherry is pretty good. Oh my god, we got the animation skip. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Sarah in The Last of Us, in the first Last of Us game,
I say it and you open the door. That's how it works, right?
I think was good voice acting.
Did you hear me? I said...
I still like wince whenever I watch, or I mean, it's been a long time since I've replayed, but if I watch other people playing the original Last of Us, when I guess I'll avoid spoilers, but yeah, Sarah does some convincing noises that always wrench my heart.
Nowhere left for you. Nowhere left for you to run. Every fault laid bare in the open. Duh! Leave him alone, damn it! No!
I know nothing about this dude, not even his name, but he's an escaped convict, right? Technically, yes. Yeah. His name's Murphy Pendleton. Essentially, the main story of this game, if you could call it that, is Murphy's son. This guy, his son, Charlie, was kidnapped and molested and murdered by Murphy's neighbor, a man named Patrick Napier, who got caught and went to prison for what he did. And Murphy, his whole life fell apart after Charlie's death. His wife left him, and he basically felt like he had nothing else to live for. So he decided all he wanted was revenge. He wanted to kill the guy who killed his son. But the guy who killed his son was already in prison. So Murphy steals a police car and goes on a police chase and gets himself arrested so that he could go to the same prison as Patrick Napier so that he could have an opportunity to kill that guy. One of the guards is like a crooked officer who arranges for Murphy to have the opportunity to kill Patrick Napier, but in return he has to kill somebody else that the crooked guard, Officer Sewell, wants him to kill. And at that point, Murphy agrees to it because all he wants is his chance to kill Napier. But then the person that Sewell, the crooked guard, sets up for Murphy to kill is another one of the guards at the prison named Frank Coleridge, who is actually a really nice guy. He's nice to all the prisoners and essentially one of Murphy's only friends while he's in prison. And Frank Coleridge also happens to be another prison guard's father, a guard by the name of Anne Cunningham, who's the female officer that is chasing you throughout most of this game. Because she blames Murphy for the death of her father. Now, whether or not Murphy actually killed Frank, or whether or not any of that is the actual story, depends entirely on what ending you get for this game. So basically, there is no consistent storyline for this game. Like, there's no consistent plot. The entire plot and story and events completely change depending on what ending you get, which is a really dumb thing. And one of the reasons why I don't like this game very much as a Silent Hill game in general. Come on, Murphy. I believe in you. There's a little more optimal way to do this running segment. But it's very kind of precise movement things that I don't really know yet.
You won't find yourself now until you face the truth.
Hey, Sasam. Any home pour in the plans? Not for a while. Eventually, yes. But not anytime soon. Right now, main goal is to just get a PB in all of the Silent Hill games. As long as I can beat my current standing PB in all the games in the series, in all like the main categories, once I get to that point, I'll start doing some of the more meme stuff, meme categories, home pour, other things. Oops. I am short by 1 med kit. I think I accidentally used one somewhere. Luckily, we get this one right here. Oh my god, I got so lucky. I managed to not get spit on by that one. It's actually somewhat rare that you can run past that guy and not have it attack. When I first tried to learn about Silent Hill, I watched Downpour gameplay and didn't come back to the series until way later. Yeah, Downpour is probably like the worst way if you're getting into the series completely new and fresh. It's pretty much the worst way to start. One of the worst ways to start, anyway. Slightly better than, like, Book of Memories, I guess, but not great. I feel like Silent Hill 1 and 3 back to back are really, really good starting points for getting into the series, because it's a really great story. You're starting with the first Silent Hill game, and Silent Hill 3 is amazing. It's a wonderful, wonderful follow-up to the original game. And then, of course, Silent Hill 2 is very different in a lot of ways than the original Silent Hill. It does some things very differently compared to the rest of the series, but is an incredible standalone Silent Hill experience where you don't really have to know anything else about Silent Hill to appreciate everything in 2. When you finally did look into it again, it was when you found my story playthroughs, so hey, nice. Well, hopefully the story playthroughs gave a much better impression than seeing Downpour gameplay did. You've got red on you.
Hey, get away from her. Where am I? Why are you doing this to me?
Thank you for coming to shepherd your son home, Mr. Pendleton. I know it's difficult losing a child.
With all due respect, I don't think you do. And like I already told you, there's been a mistake. I buried my son years ago.
I understand, Mr. Pendleton. We all deal with grief in our own way. Shall we?
Oh my god.
If you'll just sign for your son's body, you can take him home.
No! This isn't my son!
This thing's a monster, a murderer.
It's a generic raincoat killer
Suppose that runs in the
with a gas mask.
What the hell are you talking about?
Don't you know, child? Have you wandered so far off the path to not even realize who you are?
What the hell are you talking about?
So often the answers are before us, Murphy. If only we allow ourselves to see them.
Why are you doing this to me?
It's one of the cultists, the gas mask cultists from Tormented Souls. We were the monster all along. I mean, that is kind of the story. The story is, or the moral of the story, I guess.
But I didn't see any other way. You don't know what it was like to know it was
Everyone can be a monster to somebody else. It depends on perspective. To Murphy, the man who killed his son is a monster. To Anne Cunningham, the man who killed her father is a monster. So to Murphy, it's Napier. To Anne, it's Murphy. But the story is stupid and is completely contradicted by other things in the game and the endings. So none of that really has any weight or meaning.
Where do you suppose it ends? It's yours, if you want it. You only need to claim him as your own.
The one good thing about Downpour is that it gave us the Twin Perfect review of it, which I watched approximately 200 times by now. Yeah, I do like the Twin Perfect reviews. I love the real Silent Hill experience. And the best thing about Twin Perfect is Bungo, who also streams here on Twitch now. Although I think he's been away from Twitch for a little while, with plans to return. Haven't seen him online for a long time. I know he's been going through some personal stuff and I think moving? I don't remember.
Charlie! Charlie!
Oh, that was such a good fight. We got the animation skip. Got a quick kill. That was good. If you could tweak anything to fix this game's story, what would you do? That would take a lot. That would take a lot. First of all, you'd have to include a lot more of Anne Cunningham's perspective on things, which was originally planned for this game. They were going to have much more of Anne in the story, segments where you would actually play as Anne. And I agree with Sasam that it should honestly be the reverse. It should be mostly from Anne's point of view, with little segments where you play as Murphy instead of all Murphy. So you'd have to have a lot more involvement with Anne Cunningham. Basically, the story focused around her. You could still do a lot of this stuff with Murphy, but you'd need much more things from Anne's perspective. much more story from Anne's perspective. And then you'd have to completely rewrite every single ending so that the story is more concurrent up until the endings. Because, like, the thing with... Again, you compare to something like Silent Hill 2, where the story of Silent Hill 2 does not change. The reason for James being in Silent Hill, what he did before going to Silent Hill, what happened to Eddie, what happened to Angela, Laura and Mary's relationship, like everything that tells the story of Silent Hill 2 is the same. It's all one concurrent, understandable story. And then it branches off at the end. The ending just changes the ending of the story. The way that an ending should be. Like, that way you can tell the whole story and have a whole story being told. But then how it comes to an end, how it actually concludes, can branch off into some other things. Does James forgive himself and leave the town? Does he not forgive himself and commit suicide, which was his initial goal for going to the town? Does he fall in love with Maria and make the same mistake again and basically not learn from his mistakes? You know, all of these things work as endings without changing the story that you're treated to by playing the rest of the game. This game, everything comes down to the ending, and the ending completely changes all of it. Like, if you play through and you get the bad ending where Murphy is being executed, all of this story, all of these cutscenes, all of these bits of dialogue, Murphy saying, I sure as hell never hurt any kids. You know, I never hurt anybody who didn't deserve it. And blah, 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 this and that. None of it matters. Because then you just have Murphy being executed, and he literally doesn't give a shit. He's like, yeah, I did it, so what? I don't care. So then why all the guilt? Why all the conversations with the nun? Like, why the conversation with JP? If the ending completely contradicts and changes all that shit, then it didn't matter. Like, the ending completely tells a different story, so it makes all of the story leading up to the ending completely stupid and useless. Like, it's the most frustrating thing to try and piece together this story like a Silent Hill game. If you're a Silent Hill fan and you're playing the game and you're trying to figure out the story and piece everything together, you spend all this work reading your notes and finding everything, doing the optional side quests to get extra little bits of dialogue and cutscenes to put together a story, and then you get an ending where everything, all that work, everything you tried to piece together didn't matter. Murphy just killed everybody, and now he's being executed. Isn't that satisfying? Or what if you get the ending where it was all in Anne Cunningham's head, and she was the prisoner the whole time? Isn't that satisfying? After putting together this whole drama about a man losing his son and wanting revenge?
Did you really think it could end like this?
Like, that's the problem. That's the biggest problem with this game. That's why I hate this game as a Silent Hill game. Because none of it matters. It basically gets to the ending, and ultimately none of it matters.
When we reach the opposite shore, I'll go one way, you can go the other. It's that easy.
We've got unfinished business, you and I.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, and honestly, I don't care anymore.
There is no way in hell I'm going back.
Like, there's no consistent story to tell. Silent Hill 1, there's a consistent story to be told. And the endings just sort of change how you perceive that story and how it branches off at the end for a conclusion. Same thing for Silent Hill 2, same thing for Silent Hill 3, same thing for Silent Hill 4. Even a lot of the Western games, you've got a consistent storyline that just branches off at the ending. But Downpour is just,
I'm not going back.
I don't know. It's a choose your own adventure book where none of the choices really matter. Because you'll eventually just get to an ending, and that's all you get.
How's it going, Murph?
It doesn't make sense.
Heard you're gonna be leaving.
But here you go. Here's an ending.
What do you want, Sewell?
You weren't thinking of leaving before you paid back my favor, were you?
Oh, the endings are very cliche as well.
What am I talking about? Of course you're gonna.
Even the good ending,
you're a real stand-up guy, Murphy.
which lines up the most with the story as it's presented through the gameplay, is not sensical. Like, Murphy's going through this whole thing feeling guilt about killing somebody.
What do you want me to do?
And if you get the good ending, Murphy never killed anybody. This guy, Officer Sewell, killed Patrick Napier and Frank Coleridge. So if this guy, this crooked guard, is the only person who killed anybody, and Murphy's going through this whole thing being all guilty and emo about what he's done and blah, 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 what I did to Napier didn't change anything. And then you get the good ending that lines up the most with the story, where Murphy literally didn't do it.
He deserves it.
It still doesn't make sense.
No idea how bad he deserves it. Hell, I only wish I could do it myself. So, what do you say, Cupcake? You gonna play ball?
I'll take care of it.
And then you have the end, like, to continue on with that good ending. It basically is, oh, okay, Murphy realized the truth about who killed, well, he already knew the truth about who killed Frank, and instead of just telling Anne what happened at any of the time where they interact with each other throughout the story, Anne finally realizes the truth of it by Silent Hill having to show her instead of Murphy just explaining it to her. So Murphy forgives Anne for being a bitch, and Anne forgives Murphy because he didn't do it. And the whole live happily ever after ending still has Murphy as an escaped convict after a bus crash. So they have this little sappy moment where Anne Cunningham gets a radio call like, did you find Pendleton? Like, do you see the prisoner? Do you know where he is? And she's like, nope, negative. You better go. And she just tells you to go. So it's like, oh, okay. So now Murphy's an escaped convict who's a runaway felon for the rest of his life. Okay. What a good ending. That sure is satisfying. It's all pointless. It's all stupid, poorly written, nonsensical, cliche trash. Stupid like these balance beam segments. Yeah, those are also just kind of pointless. I don't know why they're a thing. Hey, we skipped an animation again. Hell yeah. With how cliche it is, in the end, expected an end where he turns out to be his son's killer. That is one of the endings. That's basically like the bad ending, is Murphy's being executed in prison because he literally killed everyone. He killed Napier, he killed Frank, he killed his son. So the prison is executing him. That is an actual ending. Charlie was a gymnast. Ow. Why are you here? Why did you spawn? Oh, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Favorite game chat prompt again? I do not have a bot right now. Hopefully next week I'll be back on my own computer again, and the commands and stuff will be back. But Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is my favorite. Hear Me Out, an ending where he is Charlie? Ooh. Now we're talking. Basically the Shattered Memories ending. Essentially what you're describing is Shattered Memories, Wemster. Which is Silent Hill 1, but what if you are Cheryl? And you're just going to therapy because your dad died. Yeah. Hey, Michelle. Good morning. Doing pretty good. We're wrapping up my first Silent Hill Downpour run of the evening. We're almost done. Got another, like, 15 to 20 minutes left. Shit. Stop. 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 Murphy, coin. Do it. Hey, Laffy. Downpour stream, just finished watching the in-depth VOD you did a few months ago. Nice. Welcome to the speed run. Been meaning to get around to your story playthroughs that aren't 1 through 4, but the other games just make me mad. Well, a lot of the other games make me mad too. So, and I try not to let that affect me when I'm doing my story playthroughs, but I am only human. So my bias definitely shows through when I do those story playthroughs. Like, I try to still cover them as well as I can. But obviously I'm not as passionate about Origins as I am as, like, 1 through 4. So I tend to talk about it. I still explain the story. I still go through everything pretty thoroughly. Read all the notes, all that kind of stuff. But I'm also complaining about the game for most of the playthrough, so I know people don't like it. People don't like that as much. But hey, I do what I can. Ow. Mean. Mean, bully. Why you bully me? Alright, see you later. Doop 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 doo doop 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 doo. Thanks, Michelle. Glad you're still enjoying the VODs. And catching up on things.
How's it going, Murph? Heard you're gonna be leaving us soon.
How's it going, dude?
You weren't thinking of leaving before you paid back my favor, were you?
Love watching people rip on stuff you also don't like, so might be cathartic. Maybe. Maybe. Was in the same boat, but there are good stuff in those as well, especially Nup's Homecoming lore videos. Yeah, Homecoming, it's one of the ones that, as much as I don't like it, I think that it has merit. So there's still interesting things when it comes to, like, the lore and the story. Oh, I fucked up. I just don't think the ideas are presented very well in Homecoming. Oh, I fucked this all up. How did I run the wrong way so badly? Oh, I'm losing so much time here. I really, really ran the wrong way. Ugh. Rip. Rip. Rip run. I should have been through this already. I tried to take a new route based on SH Mumbler's world record run instead of the route that I usually run. And Murphy, I need you to run for me, bud. Yeah, I should not have done that without practicing it or learning it ahead of time. Like, when I was watching Mumbler's run, I swear he just kind of went like right, left, right, left, right, left. And eventually got through it, like got through it pretty quick. Oh shit, I waited too long for that cycle. So I tried to do that, and apparently it's more than just that. I was not paying close enough attention. So, yeah, we just lost a shit ton of time. It's fine. Up until that running segment, this was actually going pretty well. I just need to double check the route for that last running part. Oh. Come on, elevator, go. That's the last part, right? Then the elevator breaks? No? We got one more shooting segment? Fuck. Now it breaks. Get off of that. A lot of the Western games are like that. They have good ideas and concepts, but really botched executions. True. True. Like Origins. You want to do a game focused around the state of the town and things when the actual, like, ritual that affected Alessa and stuff was going on. Sure. Cool. Good idea. But your people who are writing the game need to really make sure they understand Silent Hill 1 before they try to do that. And they did not try to do that. Because Origins was going to be something else entirely, pretty much up until the last minute. And then at the last minute, the game was in such a bad state, Konami was basically like, we're going to send this to a different studio, and they're going to have to start over. So Origins was basically made twice in the amount of time that they should have made one game. So at the last second, they were like, make it tie into Silent Hill 1, you know, try to throw in all this origin of Alessa and the ritual and all of that stuff into the story without doing their proper research on that story. So it just, like, retcons the fuck out of Silent Hill 1. Then Homecoming, new branch of the cult that left the Order and sort of started their own little branch of the cult because they wanted to get away from Silent Hill and all the weird shit that happens there. But they still have to sort of abide by Silent Hill's rules to be able to leave. Like, that's a cool idea. I think that's a cool concept. People who tried to, like, leave the Order and have a normal life after being so closely tied to such a fucked up place. Cool idea. Really poorly executed. To tell that story from the standpoint of Alex and have all the false amnesia stuff. Like, worst possible way to execute that idea. Maybe not worst possible, but not a good way to tell that story. Dead Meat, thank you so much for the 12 months. That whole ass year of support. Thank you so much, Dead Meat. Very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Hope you're doing well tonight. Of course, with Shattered Memories, a lot of the core concepts of Shattered Memories are really good. And it's a real fucking shame that we couldn't get the original game pitch as a game. Because if we had gotten that original game pitch instead of Shattered Memories, that would have probably easily been most people's favorite, like, Western developed Silent Hill game. I mean, Shattered Memories, even as it is a lot of people's favorite Western developed Silent Hill game. It's my favorite of all the Western games. But the original game pitch was, like, even better. If they would have done Silent Hill Cold Heart, an original story about a girl lost in the town with a traumatic backstory, cutting back and forth between her surviving in the town during a freak blizzard and her therapy segments before she arrived in the town. They still would have kept therapy segments. They still would have kept the those sort of elements of exploration, but it would have been more survival focused, where you have to find food and shelter and warmth, warm clothes to survive in the cold, but still be telling, like, an original story instead of trying the whole reimagining thing. Good core concept. A lot of cool ideas. But the whole Silent Hill 1 reimagining thing kind of kills it. Origins based on the Scrubs series? Yes. The first version, the first script and story that were being written for Silent Hill Origins, before it became a prequel to Silent Hill 1, it was going to be an original story focused around Travis that was based on the TV show Scrubs. It was supposed to be like a dark comedy based on Scrubs, or heavily inspired by Scrubs, I should say. And Konami saw that and they were like, oh hell no. They were like, oh hell no. Y'all gotta remake this. Y'all gotta start over. So they took the project away from Climax Studios in Los Angeles that was developing it. They sent it over to Climax in UK to basically start from scratch and make it again with the remaining time and budget of the first attempt. Like, any place where I can read the original script for Origins would laugh my ass off. As far as I know, the script, like that original script and version, never released anywhere. There is the early gameplay demo for that first version of Origins leaked on the internet, but it doesn't have any of the script or story elements in it. It's just gameplay. And even the gameplay was very different for Origins. It was more like Resident Evil 4. It was like over-the-shoulder action shooter. So that demo, the gameplay is out there. But the script and story and stuff, as far as I know, never leaked. That was all internal only. Look, it's Tormented Souls. Yep. I got so debated when it came to Tormented Souls. Oh shit, I missed it. I got so debated by everybody telling me to play Tormented Souls. They're like, it's just like classic Silent Hill. I'm like, I guess if you consider Origins and Downpour classic Silent Hill, then sure. Because it's basically Origins and Downpour, but with Resident Evil 1 Remake gameplay. So, you know. The one ritual puzzle was great, though. It had one really good, clever puzzle. I will give it that. It had a handful of, like, moments where I was like, okay, that's pretty neat. But for, like, a 15-hour game experience, ooh, it fell short. It fell very short. Oh, get on the thing. Oh my god, I ran in the wrong way. Ow. Really bad final boss here. Both the design of the boss and my execution of doing this part. Very bad. First rule of stealing, if you steal, at least steal the good stuff. Exactly. If you're gonna rip off, like, Resident Evil and Silent Hill and stuff like that, at least rip off the good ones. At the very least, rip off the good ones. But once we hit... I was enjoying Tormented Souls up until we hit the first mirror segment. The first time, it was like, oh, you go through a mirror into an otherworld version of where you already are and get a plastic heart to solve a puzzle. And I was like, oh no. I started getting that sinking feeling in my gut. I'm like, oh no. When people told me this was like Silent Hill, they didn't tell me it was like this Silent Hill. This is Origins. This is literally just the first part of Origins. This is Alchemilla. You're going through mirrors, you're getting plastic organs, you're solving this puzzle. Oh no. And I thought, like, maybe they only do it the one time. Maybe the mirror thing will just be this, like, one-time gimmick, and the rest of the game will be clever and good. And then they do it again and again. And I'm like, oh no. And then we get to the end where you go into the vault and there's all the boogeyman gas mask people with big hammers, and I'm like, oh no. They told me it was like Silent Hill, but it's Origins and Downpour. Oh no. And then the final boss is literally this final boss fight. Slightly different gimmick, but same exact layout and everything. I was so sad. I was so fucking disappointed. Whoops. So disappointed I adjusted my chair and bumped my microphone.
You know, he was a great man, my dad. Didn't matter who you were. Family, friends, even prisoners. He treated everyone with respect. Always looking for the positive side of people. I wanted to be just like him.
You don't understand. Your father treated me like one of his own.
He didn't die right away, you know. After you were done beating the life out of him, he spent years in that wheelchair. A fucking vegetable. Did you know that? And I had to watch this wonderful man shit and piss all over himself day after day after day. And every time I looked at him, you know what I saw?
Listen to me.
I saw a monster. I saw you.
Just calm down a minute and let me tell you what really happened.
You don't know how many strings I had to pull to get your transfer approved, to get you to my prison. The favors I had to call in, the sick things I had to do to get you under my watch.
Yeah, it would have been really cool if we saw any of that in this game's story, wouldn't it?
My father was a good
That would have given this cutscene some more impact, this character some more meaning.
But I do.
It's a damn shame we don't get to see fucking any of that in this actual game. Instead, you've got to go read the comic book that came out like 4 years after the game released to fill in those blanks. Did I miss the stream? Nope, you just missed the first run, Gara. I'm going to do another one. 242.42. 242, 242. 242.42.
I'm sorry, Frank.
242. That's a personal best. That's a PB. That is some peanut butter. And my new fastest completed run of Downpour. And I wasted so much time on that prison running segment. We can do better. We can do better. Let me update the title. 242.42. But we can do better.
As for me,
So I'll do another run after this.
I can't even tell you how long it's been just spinning record.
Yes, we can, but at what cost? Technically, I hit my goal, which was to just get a new personal best. So I could just move on.
This is all wrong. Please.
And start running something else. But I've got to... The next thing I want to run is going to be Shattered Memories. And I do not have the Wii U set up to switch over to that. So